We talk about nourishment, about what feeds us. We're so obsessed with the physical, the tangible, but the most potent forms of sustenance and the most insidious poisons are often invisible, intangible. They're the choices, the beliefs, the energies we allow into our inner sanctum. Today, we're using a simple ancient metaphor to unveil these profound truths. Cheese. Yes, cheese. But not in the way you think. We're going deep. We're talking about the essential cheeses that will forge an unbreakable spirit, and the deceptive ones that promise satisfaction but deliver only emptiness. This is about the alchemy of your inner world. The truth is, most of us are starving, not for food necessarily, but for meaning, for genuine connection, for an unshakable sense of self-worth. We're offered a smorgasbord of quick fixes, processed pleasures, and artificial connections, and we consume them, hoping to fill a void that only deep, resonant truth can satisfy. This journey we're on today, it's about identifying the cheeses that are the real artisans of the soul, the ones that culture resilience, understanding, and profound peace within you. And just as critically, we need to unmask the imposters, the highly processed, attractively packaged lies that keep us small, sick, and separated from our true power. This isn't about judgment, it's about discernment. It's about reclaiming your vitality, your clarity, your very essence from a world that often prefers you distracted and dependent. The stakes are higher than you can imagine because what you choose to consume on this deeper level dictates the entire landscape of your reality. It dictates your joy, your peace, your ability to love and be loved, and your capacity to weather the inevitable storms of life. So, let's begin this journey not with fear, but with a fierce love for ourselves, a commitment to uncover what truly, deeply nourishes. The first cheese you absolutely must incorporate into your being, the one that forms the bedrock of a powerful, authentic life, is what I call the cheese of unwavering self-knowledge. Think of it as a raw, unpasteurized, farm-to-table cheese. It hasn't been stripped of its vital enzymes, its unique terroir, its true character by industrial processes. It might taste a little wild, a little challenging at first, because it's real. This cheese is the deep, often uncomfortable, but utterly essential work of looking within. It's about understanding your shadows as much as your light. It's about tracing the origins of your beliefs, your fears, your desires, not to judge them, but to comprehend the intricate landscape of your inner world. So many of us run from this. We prefer the bland, predictable taste of conformity, the processed slice of who we think we should be. But true strength, the kind that doesn't crumble under pressure, is cultivated in the rich, fertile soil of self-awareness. It's asking the hard questions. Who am I truly beneath the labels, the expectations, the performances? What are my genuine values, not the ones inherited or imposed? This cheese demands patience. You can't rush its making, just as you can't rush true self-discovery. It requires quiet contemplation, honest reflection, and the courage to sit with what you find, even if it's not pretty. But the nourishment it provides, it's unparalleled. It's the deep resonant hum of authenticity that guides your decisions, strengthens your boundaries, and allows you to navigate the world from a place of unshakable inner truth. It's the difference between a life lived on autopilot and a life lived with profound intention and purpose. Don't be afraid of its complexity. Its depth is where your power lies. Next, we have the cheese of enduring resilience. Imagine a magnificent aged cheddar or a robust mountain parmesan, a cheese that has weathered time, pressure, and transformation, emerging with a character that is both potent and profoundly satisfying. This isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about cultivating the inner fortitude to not just survive it, but to be transformed by it, to become richer, deeper, and more flavorful because of it. Life will inevitably present challenges, loss, disappointment, failure. These are the metaphorical presses and aging cellars that shape us. The cheese of enduring resilience is built by consciously choosing how we respond to these pressures. Do we crumble, or do we allow the experience to compact our wisdom, to intensify our resolve? This cheese is about embracing the process, understanding that discomfort and struggle are often the very ingredients that forge unbreakable strength and profound character. It's about learning to sit with discomfort without immediately seeking an escape. It's about extracting the lessons from our darkest hours and integrating them into the fabric of our being. This isn't a passive process. It requires active engagement, showing up when it's hard, choosing growth over comfort, and forgiving ourselves for not being perfect. Each time you face adversity and choose to learn, to adapt, to keep your heart open even when it's aching, you are adding another layer to this incredible life-sustaining cheese. It's what allows you to bend without breaking, to face storms with a quiet confidence, knowing that you have the inner resources to navigate whatever comes your way. This resilience isn't about being hard. It's about being strong and flexible, like a well-aged cheese that has a firm texture but still yields, full of complex notes that speak of its journey. Cultivate this, and you cultivate a spirit that can truly withstand anything. The third cheese that is absolutely vital for a flourishing existence is the cheese of authentic connection. Picture a beautiful communal cheese board, shared amongst trusted friends, or perhaps a simple, nourishing cheese that's been a staple of family and community for generations. This isn't about superficial networking or accumulating followers. It's about the deep, soul-level bonds that nourish us, that remind us we are not alone, that mirror back to us our own light and help us navigate our shadows. In a world that often feels increasingly fragmented and isolating, the courage to cultivate genuine, vulnerable, and supportive relationships is paramount. This cheese requires us to show up as our true selves, imperfections and all, and to create safe spaces where others can do the same. It's about listening more than we speak, offering empathy without judgment, and celebrating the successes of others as if they were our own. It's understanding that true strength is often found not in rugged individualism, but in the intricate web of support that we weave with those who truly see us and love us. This kind of connection is a powerful antidote to the loneliness and alienation that can plague the human spirit. It reminds us of our shared humanity, our common struggles, and our collective capacity for love and joy. But like any fine cheese, authentic connection requires care and attention. It needs to be nurtured with honesty, trust, and consistent effort. It means being willing to have the difficult conversations, to apologize, to forgive, and to invest time and energy into the people who matter. The nourishment derived from this cheese is profound. It's the feeling of belonging, of being truly seen and accepted, that fuels our hearts and gives us the courage to be more fully ourselves in all areas of our lives. Don't underestimate its power. It's a fundamental human need, as essential as air and water. Now, we must turn our attention to the cheeses you should never, ever touch, or at least learn to recognize and consciously reject. The first, and perhaps the most insidious, is the cheese of instant gratification. Think of those hyper-processed, plastic-wrapped cheese slices. They're engineered for immediate appeal, a bright, unnatural color, a salty, sweet, addictive flavor, and almost melt-in-your-mouth ease. They promise quick satisfaction, a momentary hit of pleasure, but they offer zero real nourishment. In fact, they often leave you feeling emptier, craving more of the same hollow stimulation. This cheese represents all the quick fixes, the superficial distractions, the empty calories of life that we reach for when we're avoiding deeper discomfort or seeking an easy escape. It's the endless scrolling, the binge watching, the gossip, the consumerism that promises happiness but delivers only a fleeting distraction from what truly ails us. It's the pursuit of pleasure without purpose, sensation without substance. The danger of this cheese is its accessibility and its addictive nature. It conditions us to expect immediate results, to shy away from effort, and to devalue the slow, patient cultivation of genuine joy and fulfillment. It erodes our attention span, our capacity for deep focus, and our ability to delay gratification, all essential skills for achieving anything meaningful in life. Breaking free from its allure requires conscious effort, It means choosing the more challenging path, the one that requires patience and persistence, but ultimately leads to lasting satisfaction and genuine self-respect. It means asking yourself before you consume something, whether it's media, a product, or an experience, will this truly nourish me, or is it just a fleeting distraction? Learning to identify and reject this cheese of instant gratification is a revolutionary act of self-love. The second cheese to avoid at all costs is the cheese of external validation. Imagine a cheese that's all rind and no substance, or perhaps one that's beautifully packaged, extravagantly marketed, but utterly bland and forgettable once tasted. This cheese represents the relentless pursuit of approval, admiration, and recognition from others as the primary source of your self-worth. It's living your life for the likes, the comments, the applause, the accolades, constantly seeking external confirmation that you are good enough, worthy enough, successful enough. The problem with this cheese is that it places your sense of self in the hands of others, making you a puppet to their whims, opinions, and ever-changing standards. It's an exhausting, unwinnable game. No amount of external praise can ever fill the inner void if you don't fundamentally believe in your own worth. This cheese is particularly dangerous in our hyper-connected world, where comparison is rampant and the curated perfection of others' lives can leave us feeling perpetually inadequate. It fuels envy, insecurity, and a desperate need to perform rather than simply be. It pushes us to chase titles, possessions, and status symbols, believing they will bring us the validation we crave, only to find that the hunger remains. True self-worth, the kind that forms an unshakable foundation, is an inside job. It's cultivated through self-acceptance, through living in alignment with your values, through honoring your own journey, and through recognizing your inherent dignity irrespective of external achievements or opinions. Avoiding the cheese of external validation means consciously unhooking from the need for constant approval, learning to trust your own inner compass, and finding joy and fulfillment in your own authentic expression, whether or not anyone else is watching or applauding. It's about shifting your focus from what will they think to what feels true and right for me. This is where true freedom lies. Finally, we arrive at the third cheese. You must consciously and consistently reject the cheese of stagnant resentment. Picture a piece of cheese forgotten at the back of the refrigerator, left to develop the wrong kind of mold, becoming bitter, foul, and utterly inedible. This cheese represents the unaddressed wounds, the unforgiven hurts, the bitterness, and the grudges that we allow to fester within us. It's the poison we drink, hoping someone else will suffer. Stagnant resentment is a heavy, corrosive energy that taints everything it touches: our relationships, our health, our outlook on life. It keeps us tethered to the past, replaying old grievances, and preventing us from moving forward into a lighter, more joyful future. Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy stone in your pocket. It weighs you down, exhausts your energy, and distorts your perception of the present. It can manifest as cynicism, anger, victimhood, and an inability to trust or open your heart. The illusion is that by holding on to resentment, we are somehow punishing the person who wronged us or protecting ourselves from future pain. But in reality, we are only imprisoning ourselves. Forgiveness, and let me be clear, forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior or even necessarily reconciling with the person, is the antidote to this toxic cheese. Forgiveness is about releasing the energetic charge of the wound, cutting the cord that binds you to that pain, and reclaiming your own peace and power. It's a gift you give to yourself. It's a courageous act of self-liberation. Avoiding the cheese of stagnant resentment means committing to the ongoing work of emotional hygiene, processing your emotions, seeking to understand rather than blame, and consciously choosing to let go of what no longer serves your highest good. It means choosing freedom over bitterness, healing over continued suffering. This is not always easy, but it is always, always worth it. It clears the path for new growth, new love, and a renewed sense of possibility. We've journeyed through these cheeses, the ones that build an indomitable spirit, and the ones that silently poison our potential. The ancient wisdom of self-knowledge, the inner strength of resilience, the true union of authentic connection. These are not just abstract concepts. They are choices you make moment by moment that compound over time to create the very fabric of your life. And the false promises of instant gratification, the empty shells of external validation, the inner decay of stagnant resentment. These are the traps, the illusions that keep so many locked in cycles of quiet desperation. But the final insight, the one I promised you, the one that changes everything, is this: you are the cheesemaker. You have the power, right now, in this very moment, to choose which ingredients you allow into your life, into your mind, into your heart. You decide what you cultivate, what you nurture, what you consume, and what you consciously reject. This isn't about perfection, it's about awareness, it's about intention, it's about understanding that every single choice, no matter how small it seems, is shaping the taste, the texture, the very essence of your existence. The world will constantly offer you the processed, the artificial, the easy. It will try to convince you that quick fixes and external validation are the paths to happiness. It will normalize distraction and superficiality. But deep down, your soul knows the truth. It craves the real, the authentic, the nourishing. It yearns for the cheeses that take time, effort, and courage to cultivate, but which yield a depth of satisfaction and a strength of character that the superficial alternatives can never, ever provide. Don't let another day pass where you unconsciously consume what diminishes you. Don't let fear or habit dictate your choices. Reclaim your power as the conscious creator of your inner world. Choose the ingredients that will make your life a masterpiece of strength, wisdom, and profound, authentic joy. This isn't just a metaphor. This is the most urgent, most critical work of your life. Start today. Start now. Because the life you truly crave, the fulfillment you deeply deserve, depends entirely on the cheeses you choose to embrace and those you bravely, definitively leave behind. Your soul is hungry for what is real. Feed it well.